Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal, where today we're engaging in some data piracy. Apparently, the Draconis Combine have been monitoring communications traffic on Glintworth and have discerned a pattern that leads to a base, and we gotta go fight the base, and listen, you know how giant robot fights go. This is a lot of money and also quite a bit of salvage on the line here, so I'm excited about it, but let's not get too excited because we don't yet know what the rules of engagement are. There we go. It didn't appear the first time I clicked, and I was very panicked. I was like, oh god, have I failed the blood wheel in some very real and very important way? Alright. Glorious blood wheel, turn, 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 etc. You know the song by now. It turns out... Okay. I knew it. I knew the blood wheel loved justice. I've known it since the first moment I laid eyes on the thing. What is that? What does this mean again? This means... we must destroy an arm holding a weapon on each enemy mech if possible, or a side torso section if there isn't a weapon in an arm. This is not too hard, and because it is not too hard, it carries no difficulty adjustment. That's fine. We're ready to do a 4-skull mission with a 4-skull team. So, at 4 skulls, we can see an awful lot of stuff that we actually do want to take home. But we have to decide how many C-bills we're willing to give up for potentially valuable salvage. Because the thing is, we're about to make an awful lot of money. You know what? I'm going to take this as 2-8. Yeah, I want to make a lot of C-bills, but I don't want to go down to 0 points of priority salvage, because, you know, there could be valuables. 2-8's fine. We're going to take it as 2-8. We're also going to make good friends with the Draconis Combine on this one. Okay, so 4 skulls, and we have to try to, shoot the gun out of their hand, which is just a cool thing to do anyway. This gives us actually a lot of latitude. So, what does the 4-skull lance look like? I'm pretty excited to get that plus damage AC-10 that we looted off the flashpoint onto this Marauder, so that the Marauder is capable of knocking people's heads off again. The Orion might be a good match here. The Orion is capable of putting a lot of damage focused into one location very quickly. It's a polar battle, so the Grasshopper's unlikely to be able to do its thing. Warhammer, the Hardlight might be good here. And then... So we have a couple of close-range mechs. I'd love to run the Annihilator, but I don't know that we'll be able to make the tonnage requirement for our skulls. Yeah, that makes it pretty hard to make 4-skull happen. Okay, if instead of the Annihilator we ran, say, we use the Stalker for long range, and then we do run this? How about that? That gets us 4. It's not a terrible team. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. If we wanted to run something a little bit... I mean, as it is, I guess the Orion is really our tank. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so. Even with the polar biome, we still probably want coolant vent on the Hardlight, because it runs really, really, really hot. Could we get away with having Foxglove in here? He's got a fair number of stat points now. He's actually a pretty okay pilot, except for the fact that he can't shoot for garbage. But that doesn't matter so terribly much. You know what? Hold on. Foxglove probably has some skill points. We could probably turn him up a little bit. Ooh, not really. Okay. Yeah, that's not ideal. I mean, we'll do this. I don't usually just flip through people on the on camera because obviously there are a lot of things to consider here before we spend skill points, and I don't want to build people wrong, but I also don't want to spend a lot of time flipping back and forth between this and my spreadsheet. I'm just not going to worry about it right now. We'll level people up off camera the next time I'm off camera. So we're just going to take it back to this. We're going to rebuild that lance. I do wish that it remembered changes you made, because there's no reason for it to snap back like that. Alright, it was the Stalker, and this Thunderbolt, and this Warhammer, and this Orion. And we're totally gonna run Foxglove in the Warhammer because like we need these lower level pilots to get ready. We definitely, though, want to bring some big tough pilots for the other stuff. We don't want to make this a total training exercise. So Steamfitter's not a bad match for the Orion. In fact, he might be a very, very good match for the Orion. And then for the more long-range pilots, more long-range mechs, we can have Tirefire run the Stalker, and who else is good but not, like, capped out? The Thunderbolt's pretty long range. Yeah. It can operate a little bit closer because of its large laser, and it's big enough and heavy enough that we might run it in. So that being the case, like, Uncrackable is maybe the right fit here. Yeah, okay, I like that set. I think this is going to be pretty good for us. So both the Orion and the Warhammer are going to excel at removing enemy arms. Very, very easy for them to just put a ton of damage into somebody's side. It's a little tougher for the long-range mechs because they'll have a lot more trouble changing firing quadrants. But they can just provide fire support, you know. They can just shoot the enemies after their arms come off. And it's worth noting, I mean, the way I've worded this here, it doesn't actually say we have to take the arm off first. It just has to happen before the guy dies. So we could even potentially score some knockdowns. We do have a very stability damage heavy team here. We could potentially score a knockdown and then shoot a guy's arm off while he's on the ground, right?
Command interface initiated.
Does it still count as a justice shot if you are shooting at a downed man? I don't know. Okay. Turrets around the facility, not a big surprise.
Okay, everybody.
I've seen one or two of these before. Alright, let's have the Stalker... Oh, this is going to be a little awkward. Because we are going to have to actually get into the base, right? We can't guarantee that the Stalker is going to be able to participate in combat from all the way back here. Obviously, it could shoot at, like, base turrets, but we don't know what's going to happen after we get into the base. We may need to fight stuff from inside the base. And I don't want the Stalker up here on this hill if that happens. Alright, well, this is where we start drawing attention.
Bandits. Copy that, Commander.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Well, I mean, a single turret is not exactly terrifying. I'm a little worried about what else we're going to discover. The Orion, that's right. The Orion doesn't actually have a lot of jump jets. It jumps pretty slowly. Move in and neutralize, and also there's mechs. Yep, it's exactly what we thought it was going to be. So that is a heavy laser turret. The question is, do I want to spend Steamfitter's turn actually hitting that thing? Because we could pick up... Yeah, I think I'm going to. We could pick up the turrets with other mechs. And I want vision of 2 targets, because I'd love to kill 2 targets this turn. Ooh, I don't like this. I can't actually get shooting range with all my weapons. Well, this is enough damage to kill this turret, if everything hits. If almost everything hits, even.
That turret is gone.
Of course, that's not the dangerous one. And the bad news is, the dangerous one is totally going to get to shoot at us once, because I cannot kill it in time. That is a shame.
Waiting for orders.
Oh, no, apparently they had somebody else on their team go first, which is a grievous error. So we only need to fire... The 10 and the 15 are both probably a little too risky, but a single 20 pod ought to do this job with plenty of room to spare.
Damn, let's do this.
Target destroyed.
Well, okay then. So the Orion definitely just sprints forward.
Be there in a jiff.
Yeah, we want to commit these mechs quickly. You don't have to come quite so far up.
Uh-huh.
So what do we have? Lasers and lasers. Okay.
Awaiting orders.
Not too dangerous, this one.
Certainly.
So what do we actually need to fire here? I'm going to save the narc beacon. Yeah, we give it everything and then somebody else can pick it up with one weapon. Ooh. That AC-10 shot was pretty bad.
How's it going?
You know, honestly, it was going better before I saw steam fitters shooting. I guess we don't necessarily need to jump. If I can... Yeah, if I can just fire both the PPCs, that's good enough. One thing I didn't really think about is that Foxglove actually can't make the mech move as far as everybody else can. It's I think it's only a difference in sprint movement speed, but it still matters. I don't think we need to leave anything else turned on. We may as well leave one laser on, because it generates barely any heat. It gives us a little bit of protection against some bad dice rolls.
Turret destroyed. Yup.
Okay, that went very smoothly. We don't actually have to fire all of those. And cash bonus is very welcome, given the amount of C-bills we're getting.
Looks like enemy reinforcements.
So, but this is a different group of reinforcements, because these guys are coming in from a distance. And we were told there were engine signatures powering up nearby.
Minor, Commander.
So there may be 8 mechs on the ground already. Okay, what is your deal? You are a Victor 9S with an AC-20. Is the AC-20 on your right arm? It sure is. Well, then you know what we must do. Ooh, I'm real nervous about revealing myself to absolutely everybody. Yeah, let's... I mean, I don't have to jump, I guess. Let's do this. This keeps me in cover,
Moving out.
but it also gives me a really easy shot to that arm. And I think I don't bother aiming. Because we're just, like, the damage is going to go where it's going to go. We can preserve the resolve for other people.
Locking on target.
Alright, the narc is attached. We did not get as much damage to the arm as I was hoping.
Good to go.
Oh no. Alright, yeah, we gotta jump over. And I am going to aim with him, not because I want to, but because... Or not because I want to hit the arm really specifically, but because he's just a terrible shot.
Here we go.
Okay. Justice shot achieved.
Critical hit.
Alright, they got an Oni K, which has a an AC-10 on it. A lot of dangerous autocannons.
I'm taking heavy hits, Commander. Skipper.
Yeah, the Orion's taking a beating for sure. I want... I mean, we could try to go for the Orion's autocannon. Oh, boy. Does this arm have a weapon? It does. I mean, I think... I'm going to tell you. Based on, like, you know, Virtual Cop, I'm going to say that probably shooting a guy's torso section off doesn't really count for the challenge. I think you gotta go for the hand the gun is in. That's what the thing is. But that said, I don't think we're gonna get that done with this mech, so I'm gonna just try to core the Victor out real fast.
Engage target.
Just reduce the number of enemies we're facing here. Oh, we didn't quite get there. Too much damage to the leg. Well, he's down for a long time, though. Somebody can pick him up next turn. Oh, they have an Annihilator. Well, that seems like a high priority target. Yeah, and it has... Oh, it has a gun. Oh, it has guns. Come on. I hate when the camera gets stuck on top of stuff. Very annoying. Alright, well, I think we gotta do this. I think we gotta precision strike that arm with everything we got. That's a lot of armor to get through. Okay. Justice shot achieved.
Let's get this done.
Steam fitter just cutting people off. Yo, what happened to 4 skulls? This lance is
Not much
insane.
armor left in that location. Reporting.
Okay, well, you have to withdraw. I guess I get to shoot first, though, because of Steamfitter and his ace piloting. Do we want to cut the Victor down real fast? I mean, I could try to put some reasonable damage on one of the quick draw's arms first. Assuming it has lots of weapons in all of its arms.
The target is confirmed.
Alright, we got that narc beacon in there. Boy, his whole business is all torn up, and it's gonna be very hard for him to get any kind of cover. Alright, we can do this. I mean, if I jump back here, no, the mech's too damn tall. I cannot hide behind the rocks. Alright, if we jump back to here, the right arm is the stronger arm. They're both in bad shape, though.
Confirmed.
I'll give you as many points of evasion as I can. Yeah, enemies are super fixated on him, though. Yeah, we're gonna lose that arm by ammo explosion in the torso, probably. Okay, so here... Turns out I cannot jump to a location where I have vision of the Annihilator and also cover. But I could jump to here and just blast as hard as possible into that side torso to remove another big gun. The Orion's definitely a problem too. The Annihilator's a much bigger problem. Yeah.
Engaging jump jet.
We're going to do it like this. And we should be able to get through this pretty easily.
Target acquired.
I was going to say, there's no way I failed to do that.
Commander.
Alright, hold on, you don't. So he still has an awful lot of center torso health. Okay, we can just barely get the appropriate arc.
You got it.
And I think we definitely go for it. Oh, you're kidding me. What a miss. What a time for a miss.
That hit something good.
Alright, so 76 center structure, and also his aim is all screwed up. They can only stand one of the mechs up before the Stalker's turn. Damn it, it's that one. I was really hoping I was going to be able to just core him out real fast while he was on the ground. Okay, Steamfitter, you're almost free, buddy.
That's showing minor damage.
What can I do for you?
I think the Stalker has to kill the Victor to avoid Steamfitter potentially losing that arm. It's a pretty important arm. I think we're going to keep moving to the side.
Coordinates received.
I do have multi-shot. The thing is, I just don't feel confident enough that we'll hit the right target. We'll hit the right part of him enough times, you know? Without aim, tends to be the case with the LRMs. Just kind of go where they want to go. So I'm going to shoot whatever I can shoot while not gaining any heat. While losing all of my heat. This is overkill, but
Tell me what to do.
it's good for him to go down.
Gotcha.
I guess that means I go last in phase 1, so they go first in phase 2, actually. Okay, but that's great. That's great. They're focusing their fire elsewhere. Stalker can take a hit.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
Yes, Commander.
That gives Steamfitter time to do some stuff. But maybe... I mean, he doesn't have to go first. So let's see. If I get in and push on you... I can't work the quick draw yet because we haven't broken its arm. And the same thing of the Orion. So we might need to use the Warhammer for that. Hold on, let's... Where's the Thunderbolt? Let's have the Thunderbolt be the one that tries to finish this up. I'd love to get rid of that Annihilator before it gets a turn. What would I need? I would need 76 center. That's very doable. It should be very, very doable. I'm going to expose this thing to a little bit of fire as well. in the hopes of drawing off enemy attention, and we are absolutely spending resolve and just going to the core here. This guy still has 2 AC-10s. He's not allowed to have a turn.
Target down, Commander.
That, right there, that's what justice looks like, apparently. According to the Blood Wheel.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, so the Orion is the more dangerous of these two, but they're both pretty bad news. How's your heat? Yeah, he runs pretty hot even in the snow. Same deal here. I guess I could go for a punch. If I try to punch him... Oh, that's a punch from the back? I can punch hard enough to accidentally kill him.
Reporting.
Alright, let's have the Orion try something first. I hate the fact that he has Bulwark, though. Alright, I'm gonna... Ooh. Can't make it to a place where I'm not, like... There's no cover. There's no cover everywhere. I think we have to have the Orion disengage a little bit in order for us to guarantee its survival.
Sprinting.
Trying not to lose weapon parts over here. So then that means that the Warhammer really needs to probably attack this quick draw to prevent it from getting a turn, or do we... Yeah, because like going after the Orion's going to be such a pain with it having Bulwark right now. I'm going to jump over here. We're going to vent the coolant, and then we're going to absolutely give this guy all of the things.
Here we go.
Pretty good chance this just goes through to the center and kills him, honestly. Yep.
Hostile eliminated.
One thing you never see happen in Virtua Cop is one of the cops shooting a guy's hand in such a way that the bullet continues straight through it and into the heart. But one assumes it must be possible, because we could do it here, and that's how it works. Well, you may as well just give him everything.
Commencing Alpha strike.
Okay, good. I was hoping we'd get him to unsteady.
Show 'em what you got.
That's an interesting decision. He's just going to sit there in the forest, in the bulwark. That's
Awaiting orders.
a crying shame. Well, we're not going to be able to fire everything. But I'm going to be able to do a fair amount of damage here. Do I even want to aim? I think I do a normal attack. We're going to have to turn off probably both PPCs? Oh no, just one.
Target confirmed.
Okay, we are not
Yes,
quite getting the damage on the arm.
Reporting.
Is it really the case that every single spot I can stand... Yep. Every single spot I can stand to hit his arc appropriately is just going to be full of enemy. Place where I am going to die. Alright, just a shot. Shoot the laser right out of his hand. Do it.
Here we go.
It's not quite the thing. Can I do that from even further away? I totally can.
Have no doubt it will be done. The target is confirmed.
I'm trying really hard to hit his arm, and it's just not going.
Commander,
Alright, the Stalker can get all the way over here.
coordinates received.
And now, the arm.
All weapons are go.
We destroyed that by taking out the torso. Technically, that's not, I mean, that's not the thing.
Yes, boss.
It's wild how much everybody was shooting his torso, like, intentionally trying to make the thing not work, it felt like.
On the move.
You know what? We have to keep trying. I would rather turn off the two medium lasers and keep the PPC.
Affirmative.
All that fire going center, huh?
Target's taken a critical hit.
Yes, Commander.
I mean, I'm doing my best
Ready to
here.
rock.
I'm really, really trying. Pilots are not cooperating. Most of these guys are even, like, actually good shots. Yet we corded. Well, I'm pretty sure that's a penance mech right there. So we should at some point capture the mech, right? Or capture the base, I suppose. Are you kidding me? Really? Okay.
Roger that, Commander.
I guess we have to wait until next turn to capture the base.
Moving to position.
Good to go.
Goes without saying, of course our guys can only move immediately up to it without getting into it.
I understand. Roger.
I think we're done, but, you know, just in case here. Okay, that was easy enough.
Mission successful.
Very disappointed about that outcome. Still, it's a lot of money. I wish that turret objective was worth more than 10%. So, what do we need here? It's probably a good idea to go and check out the scoring list. Do we need that Victor? Is the big question. And the answer is 9S, yes. This is a design we need to complete. We have both the Orions already, we have all the quick draws in the world, we don't need the Annihilator. Single plus damage medium laser is probably not better than just finishing this quick draw so we can sell it. I believe that's our second quick draw 4G. If we had taken more points of priority salvage, then we could have tried taking down the Victor in such a way as to preserve more of its body, but honestly, that lance was a little bit dangerous. It was probably a good idea to just, like, go for it. So we can scrap the mech, and that does give us some cash, but it's not as much as properly selling it. So, we do have a travel contract. 843,000 sea bills, 835 salvage. It's in a Martian atmosphere. I mean, it's a difficult mission. If we're going to have to bring the Pendants mech on a fight, bringing it to one where heat is a very, very serious concern does seem pretty okay. Let's repair the Orion. It's going to be 4 days worth of work. I honestly don't know that I want to do any other big changes here. Oh, I guess I know we wanted to make that change to the Marauder. Right now it's using an AC-10 that doesn't have plus damage on it, and we should fix that. Even plus 5 damage is so significant. And I think that's probably all that we want to change here. We could throw... Actually... Throwing the PPC, a 65 damage PPC on here is probably a pretty good idea. So that's a 6-ton weapon. We'd have to lose all the medium lasers and also some more stuff. That's very difficult to justify. We could drop... What would we drop for this? I guess if we drop the medium lasers, that's 48 heat. It's not. I was going to say if we drop the medium lasers, we could also drop the heat sinks because we're firing so much cooler then, but no, actually this thing generates about that same amount of heat. Yeah, that's, that's a tough one. We could lower the number of jump jets. Each of these jump jets is a ton. It's like, what if we did this? Because we often don't want to run the Marauder up anyway, right? If we do that, then we have a dead left side, so we can point that toward enemies. We can keep it at a much greater range than we used to be able to keep it at. And now it has 2 weapons that are capable of taking an enemy head clean off, plus another weapon that does a respectable 55 damage. You know what? Let's try it like this for a while. It is definitely going to have heat problems. we're going to have a really hard time firing that PPC all the time. But it's hard to argue with a weapon that does 65. Okay. So, where is the contract world on the star map? Okay, it's on the way. In fact, it's a world we would have stopped on the way to Victoria. It's a desert world. Probably not a lot of value here, but it is inside of Capellan territory, so we're likely to be able to get a fair amount of work. It's a 12-day travel. It would be 15 to go straight to Victoria. It will not be 15 to stop on Sindolin and then go to Victoria, because, you know, we have to fly off of the jump ship path to get to the planet. So it'll be a little bit more than 15, but honestly, I think that's probably a good idea. We want to show up on Sindolin with as much money as possible, right? So it's an assassination mission, a notorious killer for hire who goes by the name The Professional. That's very presumptuous. Alright, hard to know, right? I mean, there's a lot of priority salvage available here. It is often the case on assassination missions that you end up going up against 2 lances worth of mechs. So, at 4 skulls, we could potentially see an awful lot of valuable stuff. But, at the same time, could actually find ourselves just seeing, you know, garbage mechs or mechs that we've already got pieces of, or mechs that are not even on the scoring list because they're chassis that came later. Let's maybe take this right in the middle. I'm going to take it right in the middle. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. That lets us bring home more than 1 full mech worth of salvage, in case we end up preserving one in a sensible way there. And we're actually going to be back at full strength, which I think is a thing that hasn't really happened that often lately. We tend to be doing missions with somebody injured or some mech still damaged, because, man, people get shot a lot. The cockpits of mechs just take a lot of random fire. Not so much when I'm shooting at them, but when I'm being shot at least. I don't know, that's not fair. We did lance the cockpit right off of somebody's mech accidentally very recently. Let's all just take a minute here and enjoy the cold, terrifying majesty of outer space before we're all being shot at again. I really do like these, like, chill-out travel sequences. Alright. It's never gonna work, says Sleeper. Oh, it'll work, says Kato. And even if it doesn't work, it'll be awesome, says Skippy. You look curiously over at the 3 mech warriors clustered around a table in the mess hall. Noticing your interest, Skippy calls you over, showing you a miniature medieval catapult constructed of dried noodles, bits of edible foam, and elastic bands. Why? You ask. Well, we were using utensils at first, but the cook took them away, says Skippy. Kato says, if we can get it tuned properly, it'll be great for radishes. I don't know why you need to fling radishes at people, but I'm not gonna, listen, we don't have to put the kibosh on this. They're showing interest in engineering, and I'll supervise. Everybody got XP. You watch the pilots work together as a team to get the little toy working. You only feel compelled to give a few hints, but you're mostly just drinking your coffee. The end result is only moderately successful, but you see the exact moment when Sleeper gains a key insight into the laws of indirect fire. She excitedly shares the observation with her fellow mech warriors. There's no way... Okay. There's no way she learned anything from the radish catapult that she shouldn't have learned in the training simulators, you know? Alright, no, let's not jump straight into the contract. I have some curiosities that need to be satisfied. First of all, what exactly is the number of days travel to... What do you mean travel not pot? No, I know that's my current location. I'm clicking on this. Okay, 9 days. That's quite a bit of time, travel time, that we gained there, which is a shame. And then, how much work exactly do we have available to us on this planet? I always like to know before we go making any decisions. My guess is there's going to be quite a few contracts, because we're deep in Capellan space again. Those guys love us. I overestimated slightly. There's a couple more contracts. A lot of money available between the two of them, though. Alright, let's do this. And by let's do this, I mean let's spin the wheel. Oh. Wait, Max 60 tons. It's a But it's a 4-skull assassination. Okay, that's gonna be impossible. 60 tons? Wait a second, let me go see the mission. Did the briefing talk about this? We could just bail on it. This mercenary is cagey and cautious and will attempt to escape any indication that they're overmatched. We're prepared to offer very generous salvage terms. There is no indication of a weight class. Of a weight class thing. He does say, I guess that's what they mean, will attempt to escape at any indication they're overmatched. We'd like you to land a low tonnage lance to engage them. I just looked right past this sentence because it didn't seem relevant. Boy, a 4-skull with 60-ton max is going to be borderline impossible, I think. Well, I mean, we'll try it, and then when it turns out to be actually impossible, I guess we'll just retreat. So, obviously, we have to run the penance mech. And then 60, 55, 55, I guess, is the thing. This mech is basically non-functional in Martian conditions. Yeah. Well, we don't really have a choice. 2.5 skulls. I'm not going to spin the wheel on this one. This is already borderline impossible. Alright, so who are we going to use? It's wild that they make you go in a symbol and a half under weight. Like... Alright, so we have 2 really short-range mechs. One mech that is operational at longer range, but not fully. And then the penance mech, which is basically just a big silly gimmick. We probably want to take this pretty seriously, because this is very, very unlikely to be a victory under any circumstances. The quick draw doesn't really want tire fire. I mean, we gotta bring crews, right? One of these mechs is gonna need Cruz's coolant vent. It's probably you. You alpha for 244. Yeah, I think it's more important. Honestly, maybe we run returned. Like I'm saying, we gotta go like hard here. I think odds are very good that we're going to have to retreat, though. Somebody with good aim. In a Martian biome, we're unlikely to see a lot of sources of cover, which does lower the value of bulwarks somewhat. We just have a lot of people who have bulwark, unfortunately. Maybe trampoline? This is probably trampoline or tire fire. Let's have it be tire fire for the breaching shot might be relevant? Maybe. It's hard to say. Yeah, we'll give it a shot, man. If this is actually 4-skull difficulty, it's possible that we will be able to do it by careful management of enemy heat and stuff, but there's a real good chance we'll have to run. If it's not actually 4 skulls, then Darius needs to do a better job of telling us what the mission difficulty is going to be. It's got me all stressed out over nothing. We'll wait to get mad at him until it turns out that that's actually true. Yeah, this is... So, like, the lance we saw in the last mission was what the game feels a 4-skull lance looks like. If we see an Annihilator with this crew, we are going to have to figure out a way to, like... There's a lot of mechs here where we could establish some kind of control with the Penance mech if we can get them to fire a full volley without actually killing anybody. But, you know, if they fire a full volley, there's a reasonable chance. Okay, yeah, he's mad at me. Transmission's coming from this area. Of course they're not bothering to hide. Also, why don't we secure our comms?
I note a distinct lack of vegetation here.
Why is it always the case that everybody can hear everything we're saying to each other? It feels like a serious operational issue.
On my way. I hear ya.
Yeah, this is... With our mechs running as hot as they do, this is going to be tough. So, the supporting enemy forces are down here. I think we want to go at those guys first.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
A Marauder, a Stalker, a Spider, for some reason. Yeah, that Stalker is going to be very high priority.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how we beat a Stalker. Okay, and they have plus initiative from a mech that we can't see. The leader mech is one of those.
What's the plan?
So the 55-tonner is about to have a move. We need to try to deal with this Stalker immediately. Well, we could just go for the face. Obviously, it's exceedingly dangerous to attempt a jump, given what our heat restrictions are going to look like. So, is the Stalker... It is at full armor, which is going to make it very difficult to do any meaningful damage to it. We could do... I mean... This mech does do a fair amount of damage on an Alpha Strike. It's just definitely not going to be enough to core the Stalker. But I guess I don't have a choice. We got to get started. Okay, that Wolverine is maybe going to be a problem. That is not what I want. Here we go. You could try to take its legs, maybe? I mean, like, this is 315 total damage. This is only 215, and then another 215, obviously, but, like... No, we just go for the... We go for the center. Didn't even really darken the armor.
How might I help?
Waiting
You're probably
on you,
not
Commander.
next. If we can take out the Stalker, we actually have a reasonable advantage over this Lance.
Moving out.
But if we can take out the Stalker is big. That's a big if. That's a lot of if.
Take this.
The fact that we're missing 95% shots is not a good sign. And then the Penance mech is going to turn off the Wolverine? I mean, I might be able to just turn off the Stalker. Maybe. Alright, I have to get closer to it. Because the Infernos don't actually have super good range. Alright. This will at least make it tough for him to do anything on his turn. It's not a shutdown, but it's a lot. Interesting. He ran up so close that his...
Dang it, that hurt.
Yep, of course. Random headshots.
What can I do for you?
He ran up so close that his PPCs were inaccurate. I would describe that as a questionable maneuver.
Coordinates received.
Alright, we're still unlikely to get the kill here, but we gotta keep working. We did get through the armor.
And there's more where that came from. I've got something.
Okay. That's not too big of a deal if that's all he's got. And obviously the spider is not something I'm terrified of, but you know, 2 medium lasers, it adds up.
Damage minimal.
So he's trying to make it hard for me to get a center shot.
Reporting.
I don't know if I can... Okay, yes, I can. So yeah, we're definitely going to just try to finish him, right? It's looking pretty bad for us. Oh, I should definitely cool and vent. Looking pretty bad for us in terms of actually getting 4 pieces of decent salvage. Okay. That's good stuff. We managed to get one of them down. We didn't even really let it fire. Penance mech is doing fine work. I might send the Penance mech over toward the incoming heavy.
Commander.
You have orders?
Can we get anywhere? Oh no, we cannot get anywhere near him. Never mind. So who do we want to shut down now? The Marauder is... I kind of wish I had multi-target. Well, I guess the Wolverine went already, so shutting down the Marauder now... The thing is, it's not really going to be able to fire very much.
Commander.
Wolverine is mostly about absorbing damage, doesn't really do any meaningful damage. Distancing ourselves from the assassination mech is not really going to help because it's running PPCs. It's going to be able to shoot me no matter where I go.
Yes, Commander. What's the plan?
Alright, I'm going to have the Penance mech fall back to here and give this Marauder what for? Yeah, it's the Marauder, but... Do we want to fire all of the Infernos? Maybe not. Maybe I just want to fire the Infernos though. We could save ourselves a little bit of ammo here. Right, because each one of them is doing 30... I guess I should fire all three just in case we have a miss. Alright, so Marauder shut down. We don't have to worry about his nonsense this turn. Which means we can now try to focus on this guy. And I'm not moving away for the purpose of making the boss unable to shoot at us. I'm moving because I just want to get closer to him. Although, obviously, it would be super cool if I was not so easy to shoot in the head.
Battle mech power-up detected.
Good to go.
Right, and the quick draw can... Yeah, the quick draw can get everything off at that guy. I really do wish I had a little bit more resolve, though. Is this going to overheat us? No, just barely it is not.
Firing everything I've got.
Okay, making stuff happen. Okay, not too bad. That actually almost pierced the armor.
Mech warriors?
But I suspect that he's having some heat problems. The spider is actually probably going to be pretty annoying to kill.
Reporting.
It's going to keep getting tons of evasion. Although I guess it didn't really get tons of evasion there.
Go.
So we have to be a little cautious with our weight, or with our heat, obviously. This guy's not that hard to kill with a shot in the rear. I think that's got to be the plan. We might actually be able to just core him out, or at least threaten him. Because I'm probably not... Yeah, I'm not going to get to fire everything, so that makes the core pretty tough. Oh, so close, too. My guess is that's going to panic him a little bit. He is now very, very close to death.
Commander.
So the Wolverine can choose to start working this guy in the back armor. I think we do that. We just shoot at his back armor.
Coordinates received. Affirmative.
Well, we just knocked off all of his guns. That's an okay start.
Yes, Commander.
And then I think I want to move the Penance mech in the direction of the enemy,
Moving out.
the big boss, and we're just going to give this guy the Infernos again. Okay, so that quick draw's gotta disengage a little bit from the shooting. That is a Catapult K2, not a mech that we need. So yeah, we really We really lost pretty badly here on the salvage front. This is going to generate so much heat.
Affirmative.
But I'm trying to make it so that the boss will lose vision of me once we take these mechs down. Still don't get to fire everything.
Right, Commander.
I think that evasive maneuver was important, although obviously I wish that we had gotten a kill there.
Let's go.
The Penance mech can take a little bit of a beating. It's actually very heavily armored for its weight class, remember.
How might I help? Awaiting orders.
Oh, the quick draw's a little bit slower than everybody else, that's right. Can we get... Yes, this is what I want. A punch in the side. So a shot to the leg is not lethal.
Right, Commander.
So of course that's where it hit. He doesn't have a lot of weapon systems left. He's not a huge danger, but it would have been really nice to get a kill
Minor
there.
damage.
You probably want to move. You can get some actual cover, I suppose. We could make ourselves unshootable. And then just go for the center of the enemy here. He needs to be hit for 7. Honestly, we can just give him the SRM-6, probably. The heat difference is so small, though. Why take the chance?
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yeah, this is pretty unfortunate that we managed to pull a group of enemy mechs where we don't need, I think, even a single point of salvage. We could light you up. Cannot yet give him the Infernos. I guess we may as well try to shut down the spider.
Be there in a jiff.
You know what? We'll employ a little bit of real aim here.
Locking on target.
Okay, I think we probably have broken that thing then. Yeah, the PPC catapult,
Good to go.
not really too much of a threat in the situation we find ourselves in. I'm gonna go for the punch here because it's really awkward for me to do any shooting this turn.
Moving to position.
There we go.
Enemy down.
Give them everything you got.
Battle mech power up detected.
You have orders?
Alright, I think we should pretty easily be able to take care of this guy. 70 damage from this side is pretty unlikely to be lethal, honestly.
Affirmative.
Alright, just go straight through.
Critical hit, Commander.
What's the plan?
So now... guess you could hit him in the back. You need to catch him for 22 damage. Kind of want to, yeah, jump over here like this. This is not going to let me actually fire that many weapons, but
Engaging jump jets.
the missile launchers are pretty low heat.
Enemy mech destroyed.
How might I help?
Alright, I think we just reserve down now, let him come forward a little bit, and then see if we can get the Penance mech close enough to him to get a shutdown.
Warning. Armor breached.
Reporting.
Internal damage.
PPCs are like mediocre to bad weapons at the best of times, so I have high hopes for this. And I don't see any reason to do anything other than go straight center.
As you wish.
Primary target damage, Commander.
Okay, he's done for. He's never going to get to use his mech again.
Commander?
I think we may actually have to just
Got it.
spend a turn chilling out. Oh no, I guess we're okay. And because he's turned off, we get to aim exactly where we want to. Yeah, this is a good turn to
The target
really
is
put the
retreating,
damage in.
Commander. Eliminate it before it escapes.
I don't believe the target is retreating. I think you are mistaken. I think the target is standing perfectly still and letting us murder him.
Okay, everybody. Let's hit him with
That was definitely easier than I was afraid it was going to be, in part because that was not a Four Skull Lance, in part because we got lied to. They're always getting lied to. Well, I feel bad now for not having Blood Wield. Maybe we'll take the Penance Mech out again for the next mission. So Tire Fire's injured again. Took some damage to some mechs that are probably small enough that we wouldn't have used them anyway on the rest of the missions here. So I guess that outcome's not too bad. Ooh. We might be taking a bunch of plus damage medium lasers. It's hard to run enough of those, you know? They're very strong. And then for the last thing, we could take another SRM++. I guess we don't have an infinite supply of them. We have a bunch. I guess we're about to go to the place where you buy more, though. So yeah, I guess let's just grab the piece of the Stalker. That's the one. That's the one of these mechs that I don't need that I'm closest to. Yeah, we already have a Wolverine 6K. Yeah, this is the only one that makes any kind of sense here. But on the whole, just like very disappointing. We gave up a fair amount of money for... I mean, honestly, maybe what we gave up was not an unfair price for 3 plus 10 damage medium lasers. Those things are not super easy to come by, and they are really nice to have. And yes, I know, our mech warriors are gaining in experience. That is a thing that I am totally going to handle before the next episode. But for now, I think we must say goodbye for today. That is going to be it for us for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. Tomorrow we have 2 more great big missions to accomplish before we finally fly to the site of our ultimate betrayal. That makes it sound like I'm getting betrayed. The site at which we will ultimately betray everyone else. So come back next time to see that happen, maybe. I guess it kind of depends on how many jobs there are. Listen, come back next time to see us work toward it, at least. And we'll see you then.